Bro, the iPhone is hands down the most popular phone in the world right now. And on top of that, people are always upgrading, always rotating phones. And the users of iPhones are getting younger and younger today. And for all those reasons, there's still a lot of money to be made flipping iPhones. And don't worry, I'm gonna walk you exactly how you gonna do that, where to find them, how to price them, how to sell them, and all that good stuff. So make sure you watch to the end. Now, iPhone flipping is a sweet side hustle for this reason, because ultimately you don't need a whole lot of money to start. In fact, bro, you can start with as little as $100. So we're gonna talk about that first. Let's talk about startup costs. Generally, you need about $100 to $500 to purchase your first device. Mostly on the low end, if you're just looking to find devices that are already ready to go, I say $500 because if you're gonna go the repair route, you could be looking at some money as far as equipment and parts. But pretty much that's all there is to it when it comes to the startup cost. Now let's talk about how to find. And before I jump into this, I wanna tell you, bro, just remember this. When you're prospecting a phone, when you searching, if the EIN number is not visible, we're not buying that listing. Now keep that in your back pocket and follow along. The first way that I'm gonna recommend you find devices is pretty simple and pretty straightforward, and that's lowballing on Facebook Marketplace. Now that's the best way to say that without any fluff, because, and I'm gonna explain that to you. It's a numbers game ultimately. The more people you ask, the better chance that you're gonna get somebody to bite on your price. Because see, what's gonna happen is you're gonna run into people who need cash now. They might be in whatever situation, but most of the time these people are needing to part ways with this device, and they're willing to take lower than what the device is worth on the market. And the more you do it, the more you'll actually be able to pick up on that language. And we're gonna talk about that a little more later. Also, when it comes to that, to give you just a little bit more of a leg up, being able to meet up right then ASAP is always gonna prioritize you, especially to the buyers that we're talking about, the ones that are gonna accept our lowball offers. Outside of Facebook Marketplace, we got Craigslist, OfferUp, 5 Miles is another good one. You see a device on any one of those local platforms, you give a lowball offer based on what the value is. And once again, stay along to the end because I'm gonna tell you exactly how to find that value. And then you just make your offer and go on to the next person. eBay is the next best place that I'm gonna suggest that you can find devices. Now, auctions are your best friend. Auctions are gonna be how you get a lot of your devices as far as the ones to flip, get them under market. And it's simple, right? You go on eBay, you type in iPhone, let's go iPhone 10. You filter by auction, and then you go filter by time ending soonest, right? There's an iPhone X from AT&T. There's an iPhone XS that has about 35 minutes left on the auction. So if I had done the research on this and seen how much this device goes for, then I would for sure enter that offer and try to enter that auction and kind of sneak in and win the auction that way. Also, you can buy lots, right? Lots are the closest thing to wholesale in the USA. And what lots are is basically word for bulk, a group of iPhones. Right now, I'm gonna keep it real about those lot listings. A lot of the times they're gonna have defects. Some of them are gonna be carrier lots. Some of them are gonna have defective microphones and things like that. But it's ultimately up for you to look through that listing. A good transparent seller is gonna have all the information about all these phones in their description. And so you take the time, look through those, and if it's worth it, purchase the lot. Also on eBay, where you can get a lot of devices under market. And this is gonna be geared more towards my people who wanna get in and sum up and get the value back up. eBay has a sold as parts filter when it comes to buying devices. And so in there, you might have a fully functional device, but because the screen is cracked, it can't even be sold as used. It has to be sold as broken as parts, right? So if you're interested in fixing that screen and you can make some profit on it, then you can definitely shop there as well. Now, another way, let's say you want to get a little bit more advanced. I'm sure you've seen them on the internet, those cash for iPhones ads. All that is somebody like me or you who's interested in flipping phones that's using that to actually attract buyers to them. And here's the lit part about doing it this way. This way is going to attract the buyers that we were talking about earlier, the ones who are going to accept lowball offers. This is going to attract most of them, right? Because think about it. If you're trying to sell your device and you set on your price and you want to get what you're going to get for them, then you're not necessarily going to go seek somebody out. You're going to list your item, and then boom, wait on people to hit you on it. But if you're going to go as far as contacting somebody, that means you need this thing gone, right? So you're more than likely to take less than market for it, right? And that's the whole game. So create you an ad, post them on those local marketplace apps like I told you. Now, here's the thing too. You used to be able to just design a nice ad and put up there, but you can't do that anymore. So what you have to do is make it like a normal picture and maybe just put some text on the image. Hey, I'll cash you out for your iPhones or whatever, and you'll start getting hits that way. All right. So now that you know how to find them, now let's talk about how to price them, how to find the value. And I'm gonna tell you that I actually have a digital book where I went through and did all this research that I'm about to teach you how to do. I went ahead and did that for all the current iPhone devices. All right, so I'm gonna have a link to that in the description. Go check it out, help your boy out. But the method is pretty simple. Let's say you're on your device, right? And you see iPhone 8. Let's do iPhone. So you want to do the exact match, right? So the condition, say it's used, right? Storage. Let's say it's a 250, right? You just want to match it up completely because you definitely want to know what the value is. You're going to come down to filter and you're going to filter sold items, right? And what that's going to show you is all the items that sold. And why that's important is because you can look at items, you can see what people have them listed at, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how much that they're actually selling for. So you want to know how much they're selling for, right? So then you would kind of scroll through this, right? And I see a 170 sold just today for 170 for this device. See here that it was sold for 40, but this lets you know that if it says read, probably something wrong with it. This one's cracked at $60. This one is 120, 123, right? So I know I see another one that looks like it's going for 108. I see 150. So I'm kind of seeing the 100 to kind of 180 range. And as I scroll further, I think I would personally be set on like maybe a 150 price point, because I see that I see that they're going for more than 150 actually. But that's just kind of a good measure how much a device is worth on the market, right? Then you can go look at listings and see what other people are listing them at and stuff like that. But that's the best way to find the value of not even just the device, but anything. All right, so now that you know where to find them, how to price them and everything like that, now let's talk about the profits a little bit, because depending on what phone you get, your profit margin on iPhone flipping is gonna look anything like from $20 to $300 on some models, especially once you get good swooping in and getting a device severely undervalued and then being able to sell it at market value. And I know you probably wanted a longer answer on that, but I try to not do much fluff, bro. It just boils down to getting it under market and then selling it for market, or even sometimes under market, but as long as it's more than what you paid for it, right? So now let's talk about how to sell. Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, all the places that you're gonna be buying them, you're gonna be selling them there as well. And so one of the most common questions I get from people when they hear that is like, bro, what if I lowball a guy for his device and he turns around and sees me selling it 2 weeks later? Number one, it's not really his business, but number two, if just being candid, just being real, if he would have held out and did what you did, took the time to make some nice pictures, took some time to take what he's doing seriously, then maybe he would have been able to sell it at what you sold it for, right? So trust me, not only me, people do it every day, bro. They flip things on the same platform that they bought them on. Now, locally is always where I prefer to sell devices, and where it's really gonna pop off around Christmas time, stuff like that. eBay, you can sell devices on eBay. It's just really my last resort, simply because the fees can cut into your profit, and shipping sometimes as well. So I really try to stay off of eBay with devices. Now, one of the challenges that you might face is that you might have a device that's not really moving, right? You might have an iPhone that you've had for a while. 9 times out of 10, if you have a device like that, it's because it's restricted to one carrier. What you need to do is figure out how to get devices unlocked, right? And that's mainly going to come from checking the EIN numbers of these devices that you're buying and making sure that they're not carrier locked, right? There's a lot of, just go on Google and search MEID reverse lookup, and it's gonna give you multiple tools that you can look at and see if a device is locked to a carrier. And if all else fails, you can always call the company that the phone is registered to. So if it's T-Mobile, you can call T-Mobile and ask them, hey, is this device MEID number still locked to your carrier? And they'll tell you, oh yeah, no, that guy didn't pay his bill, or no, that device is not locked to us. So if you have a device that isn't moving, get it unlocked. If it's already unlocked, go down $25. That means your price is too high and you're a little bit above market. The only other challenge, bro, is your safety, right? A lot of the times you see people get ran off on with their phones. Always meet in inside a public place, right? Go inside a McDonald's, a Starbucks, or something like that and sit down with a person in public and swap the money, and the phone's there, right? Right there at the table where you're both sitting down. And if they try to pull something janky, at the very least, you have witnesses and surveillance footage to back you up when it comes to legal action. I have another video where I talk about some of the easiest things to flip for profit. Meet me on that video, man. I love y'all, bro. Let's get it. Hey, man, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content on my channel, I want to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in learning how to acquire limited items, join my Discord. Not only do we share the information in there, but we also raffle off items, do giveaways, and all type of lit stuff. So join me in that Discord. Also, follow me on all my socials. I love y'all, man. Let's get it.
Mr. President, this looks really bad, sir. The doctor's research was leaked and it has left unrest within the country. This is not good. The plan backfired, as I predicted. Mr. President, you need to speak on this or there will be riots. We cannot afford riots on top of this. The president wants all samples brought to the laboratory at once for immediate testing. This could be dangerous, people. Very dangerous.